Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live once again. This is Empire State of Baseball on October 27th of the year 2025. Episode 146, airing on Instagram, X, YouTube, and powered by StreamYard. Well, it's that time of year now where we are at the end of the baseball season. The World Series now is officially in full swing. We're a couple of games into the World Series already, so by the time we do this show next week, we will have a winner of the World Series, and that'll be the official end of this current season of Empire State of Baseball before we transition to the off season. A lot more on that to come later on, but we still have plenty of baseball to talk on this season today. Joe, I know I see you with the Jets jersey on. Jets also got their first win of the season, so
Yep.
yeah, how you feeling after that?
Yeah, listen, I'm not wearing the Jets jersey because they won. This is a Nick Mangold jersey. I'm wearing it because one of my favorite players that I've ever watched passed away the other day, and I got two of these jerseys. I got one of these in white. That was one of my favorite players. I watched every game that guy played since he was drafted from the Jets. Sunday was, that's a tough feeling. Guy's 41 years old. You watched him play every game, and a time where the Jets were actually good and competitive, and that hurts to see somebody like that suffer and have the issues that he had with kidneys. Apparently, he'd been fighting kidney disease since 2006 because of a genetic condition. 2 weeks ago, he tweeted out that he's looking for a kidney. So today I'm wearing a Jets jersey, not to celebrate the Jets win, but to celebrate the life of Nick Mangold. That's my guy. That's every Jet fan's guy. And I hope he gets what he deserves and goes into the National Football Hall of Fame one day, because he was an all-time he's an all-time great Jet, an all-time great human, and a great center. And I just hope his family and his kids, never forget that. So
yeah, that was really unfortunate news. Obviously, me and Joe are the Met fans here of the show, and the Jet fans. And Nick Mangold grew up in a time and played in a time when we were in the best era of Jets football of our lifetimes. And granted, they didn't make it to a Super Bowl, but they had several playoff appearances with Nick Mangold under center. They had two under the Rex Ryan years that they came very close to a Super Bowl, losing in the AFC Championships back to back. Nick Mangold, you look at the Jets players of our lifetime, he's arguably the second best offensive player we've ever had in our era. Curtis Martin, I would still probably put number one. I think Mangold's probably second. He's probably third all time in our lifetime, putting Darrelle Revis on the defensive side of the ball up there as well. Phenomenal player, even better person. Watching the Rex Ryan interview yesterday was a bit tough. That was an emotional one. It's a very unfortunate and prayers to definitely with the Mangold family in this tough time. But Rich, how you doing on this Monday evening?
Well, yeah, off a solid note, and again, prayers to the Mangold family and the New York Jets extended family. That was tough. That was tough news for the sports world there. Otherwise, coming out of a solemn note, no, we're doing good. As you mentioned, we are looking at the very end of baseball season. We're actually in the rare sports eclipse for today. There's a World Series game happening. We have a Monday Night Football game. NBA hockey's got games out there. The MLS has games going on today. So we've hit the sports equinox on this October the 27th. So which only just signifies that we are coming to the very end of the MLB season. Game 3 of the World Series in progress between the Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays. Thomas, how you doing, bud?
We're good. No, obviously the heavy start with the Nick Mangold, and that was shocking news, but again, no great way to transition. But Joe and I's Devils best team in the NHL. That's pretty sweet. Just taking people down. They're so injured last year. Took a step back and watching them. That's been fun. It's been fun watching a team win and not make me sad. Which the Yankees, although they win a lot, they often make me sad. So good start. Good start for us here.
You know what probably makes you happy though, Thomas? Some good gear from Roback.
Oh, it absolutely does, and because we're moving into the best season of Roback, the best which is fall, and that's because although Roback makes a lot of different things, again, the hoodies we'll get to, spoiler alert, the polos, shorts, joggers, bathing suits, other kind of workout clothes. The best thing that they make is the hoodie. The Roback hoodie is the should be your staple for comfy fall weather. I got the black one on. They have all kinds of different colors, different patterns, a lot of different colleges. If you want to take a look at some of those, head over to roback.com, use promo code TWASPL15 and get yourself 15% off your first order. And I promise you will be unbelievably comfy in a Roback hoodie.
Yeah. Listen, I absolutely love the brand. I think I got to get myself one of these hoodies, so I might have to go and check it out because we are in the middle of a fall, and nothing says fall like hoodie, and nothing says fall like fall classic. As we said before, we're right in the middle of the World Series, so we'll start today with the postseason push. Later in the show, we're going to go to the Khore Kurriculum. So this is the final run. The game's here pretty much right at the end. Khore Kurriculum always gives us a lot of chances for points. There's going to be a lot of points on the table to come tonight. So we'll get more into that a little later, but it's technically still anybody's game with the amount of points on the table tonight for Khore Kurriculum. And then we're going to wrap up the show actually with our ESP's 2025 MLB predictions. For those of you watching the show earlier this year, right before the start of the year, we went through all our predictions, awards, division winners, World Series matchups, you name it, we went through it. We're going to do a revisit of that tonight to see how we did in our predictions versus how the season unfolded. I think there's a couple of them which were nailed. There's a couple of them completely laughable. So it'll be a fun time running through that. But anyway, going with the postseason push. Los Angeles Dodgers versus Toronto Blue Jays. Right now, the series is tied 1-1. Blue Jays with the really big offensive performance in Game 1 after falling behind in that game. I think they were down 2-0, tied at 2-2, and then their bats went completely off. Dodgers took the second game. Yamamoto pitching a complete game, just proving he's worth every single dollar that they got and gave to him last offseason. So, or 2 off seasons ago. So we're tied at 1. They're in LA tonight. That's currently in a warm-up. Should be pitching momentarily here. But Rich, what are your thoughts so far on the first 2 game sets of the Fall Classic?
Yeah, as the Dodgers just took the field, Tyler Glass down the mound, George Springer stepping up to the dish out in LA. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a competitive World Series. I mean, I don't think there's any really question about it. Even with the Dodgers as dominant they've looked throughout the postseason, you just mentioned Yoshinobu Yamamoto, not 1 but 2 complete games thus far for the postseason. He's looked unbelievable, and like you said, every penny worth it for the Dodgers to spend in Yamamoto. He's lived up to it through the 2 seasons he's been with LA. Yeah, I think this is going to be it's a very competitive 2 teams here. We talked about it at length, especially with Thomas, watching the Blue Jays pick apart the New York Yankees pitching. They know how to grind out at bats. They are a tough team to put out. It's not just Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and George Springer doing the job. It's Alejandro Kirk. It's Dalton Varsho. It's Addison Barger, as we saw in Game 1 with that pinch hit grand slam. So they're getting quality at bats throughout the lineup. The Dodgers, I think they favor in the pitching department. You like what you saw out of Trey Savage for Toronto, but let's face it, it's a lot of stock invested into a kid that's only had about 10 starts, if even that, throughout his professional career. So I think the Dodgers do have that advantage from the pitching perspective. So it's really going to be a matchup of who can win it out. Is it going to be great pitching, or is it just going to be a great lineup of scrappy bats here? Joe, this is going to be a series that could potentially go 7.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Blue Jays are equipped to pace the Dodgers, right? Like we talked about it last series. Milwaukee was not equipped to handle the Dodgers. They didn't have the pitching. They don't have the arms to match up. They don't have the offensive firepower to match up. The Blue Jays certainly do, because they have guys like Bo Bichette. They have guys like Vlad Guerrero Jr. They have guys that are killing the ball in Ernie Clement. So they have put themselves in a position where they, at least from the star power perspective, can not quite, be on the same level, but they can keep pace. George Springer is a perennial playoff hero. So when you have that ability, when you have that raw talent, that's how you keep pace with the Dodgers. So, having those guys and putting themselves in that position is great. As good as the Dodgers have been, they came off a layoff. You saw in game 1, they were a little slow getting out of the gate. I think the Dodgers are still going to win. I think I favor them tonight. I favor them tomorrow. I have to see how many games Toronto can win in Dodger Stadium to really believe it. You have to win 2 games here. Or you don't have to win. You have to at least win 1 game here in Dodger Stadium. That's going to be a question. Scherzer's been up and down in the playoffs history. Khoury, we've seen that firsthand. I don't know how much confidence I'd have in him tonight at 42 years old and given his history sometimes in the playoffs. But the Toronto's for real, and the Dodgers have been put on notice after that first game. Hey, we're not the Brewers. We're not going to roll over and let you steamroll us to the series victory. So you're going to have to fight. We're going to have to all fight, and we're going to make you earn it. And I think that's what Toronto has done by winning that first game and putting themselves in a position to say, we're here, we're in this series, and we're not going to let you just treat us like we're a second-class citizen.
Yeah, I think what's going to be big for the series is I don't think the Dodgers can go back to Toronto and win 2 games. I think they either need to win these next 3, or they need to at least get it to a point where they only have to win game 6 or game 7 in Toronto. If they go down 3-2 back to Toronto, I think that could be tough. The Blue Jays offense, especially at home, has been explosive at times. Sometimes questionably explosive. I said I wasn't gonna, start accusing them of things, but it just seems like they have some explosions at home. And maybe it's just really good scouting or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, Yamamoto did shut them down, so there's that. Maybe they want to make it too obvious. I just don't think the Dodgers. I mean, they're great. If a team can win 2 games in Toronto, it is them. I think if they can get it back, then they can either win in 6 in Toronto or obviously just win the next 3 at home. I think that's their best path. Any other way is going to be tough. But the thing is, the next 2, we only had the next 2 probables. I know Richie had them up there. And those probables really favor the Dodgers. You take Glasnow over a 41-year-old Scherzer, you said?
42.
A 42-year-old Scherzer, and you take Ohtani over Bieber. And I think the Dodgers should be up 3-1 going into game 5, and then it'll be interesting to see what they do. It'll be interesting to see if they have the same mentality. A lot of things will be swapped from last year's game 4 with the Yankees, where game 4, the Yankees won a lot of it because the Dodgers didn't really try. They threw a bullpen game without any of their real top arms, and the Yankees won that game. So, without having the home field advantage, is that something they would consider doing again? Obviously, they were up 3-0 when that happened.
I don't think it's necessary.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. Because if they win these next 2, do they try to put the hammer down, close it out at home, or do they allow more kind of natural rest? Because it would be
Snell on regular rest on Wednesday. The game 1 starters would be on normal rest.
Snell pitched on Friday. That's
right. So that's
fine. But then you still, listen, it's a game between the World Series. You do crazy things like we're going to start bringing guys out of the bullpen, starters, and we're just going to burn it and try to win it here, or do they, if they're losing, do they say, okay, we'll take this loss? A lot's going to depend on what happens in the next 2 games. But I think the Dodgers should be set up well. I
think in the past, to me, these 2 teams have 4 healthy starters. There is no reason to throw a bullpen game. I don't want to see it.
I more meant if the game is tied. Like, do you think, hey, can Yamamoto come out? Do we save him? Do we Ohtani wouldn't be available?
If you're the Dodgers and you're down 3-1 going into Wednesday and you're holding your life, anybody's on the table. Yamamoto's now on the table instead of worrying about him start on Friday. If you got to get 3 outs from Yamamoto, that's fine. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they got Sasaki. Sasaki can be a big part of that solution as well. He can come out and throw 3-4 innings out of the thing. But again, I don't expect them to be in that situation. I still think the Dodgers win this in 6. Toronto's going to be in every game. When push comes to shove, I trust the Dodgers pitching a little bit more. Yeah. I trust the Dodgers stars a little bit more than I trust Toronto stars.
Yeah, I think the best thing working in Toronto's favor is the home field in this case, and having the games back in Toronto for games 6 and 7 if necessary. I saw Hector in the chat said Dodgers in 5. I saw Jacob Petrucci said Toronto in 7, and I actually could see either of those two happening. I just think the Dodgers have the better pitching in the short term right now. Playing at home, I personally am rooting for Toronto. I want someone different. I don't want to see the Dodgers win it all. I'd love to see someone different win it. So Toronto would be very different, especially because, like we've said, Tom, especially plenty of times this year that they're choke artists. So it would be cool to see someone different win it. I hate the Dodgers, so that would be great.
I won't believe it's possible to beat the Dodgers until I see Toronto win a game in Dodger Stadium.
Exactly. I think if you're the Blue Jays, your goal is to not fall behind in the series. The Blue Jays win tonight, stay up a game. You lose tomorrow, then you back down a game. The thing with the Blue Jays, if they win and win it all, take it through game 7, it will be a 7-game series if the Blue Jays win it all. But they have to keep pace and can't fall behind the series. If they
get it back to Toronto, I think all bets are off. It's just can they get it back to Toronto? Which they got to win 1 game, so
yeah, we'll see.
Real quick, just want to get through the chat. Didn't get a chance to do the shout outs here, and shout out to Mike Parr as always, our first one in here. You hear that, Jacob Petrucci? Always our first one in here now. Mike Parr's the alley. Am I late? Am I early? I don't know, but I do know everyone needs to like and subscribe. Appreciate you, Pars, as always. And there's Jacob goes glassless rich. I mean, last week's episode was the first time I ever wore glasses on the show. You treat me like this is a new look for me. My guy Hitman, what's good, ESP family? Good to see you, Hitman. Hope all is well. CK, Mondays are for ESB. I absolutely love and agree with that. As we were getting a run through of the predictions of who will win the 2025 World Series, our guy Hector, who checked in, says Dodgers in 5. There's a Toronto in 7. There's a Dodgers and LI Toronto in 7. We got no score here in the bottom of the first inning.
Whereas LI still doesn't have the Mariners winning it.
Ohtani just hit a ground rule double.
Thank you, sir.
I thought LI would have the Mariners still coming back somehow and winning the World Series.
But yeah, guys, I mean, this is going to just be one of those great series between two teams that deserve to be there at the very end. When it comes down to it, I do think the Dodgers outlast the Blue Jays, but I'll make this fun. I'm going to say Dodgers in 7. I think this goes the distance as well. So I'm taking the Petrucci prediction. I think he said Dodgers in 7, or did he say Blue Jays in 7? Oh, he said Toronto.
He said Blue Jays.
Screw you, Jacob. Toronto in 7. What are you doing here? I thought you were a Yankee fan, bud. All righty. Well, that's
you had the Red Sox winning the World Series, Mr. Yankee fan.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, actually, we'll know what he's talking about in a few minutes' time. But before we move forward with the show, it is time to touch on Instagram, the latest and greatest with Instagram. Khoury, you tried to pass that baton to Tom last week, and he did a great job holding it down, doing the Instagram spot. But I have to send it back to the guy who does it the best here for IG, Khoury Fast. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, and there we go. And I appreciate that, Rich. Go ahead and follow us on the gram at Empire State of Baseball. You'll find our meme reels, archive segments, graphics from the show. You can watch the show. But again, if you're watching the show there, thank you. We really appreciate it. Love having you. But switch over to YouTube. It's a better experience. We can't see comments on the gram on the show. Would love to interact with you live on YouTube. But if you are watching us, great. Awesome. Love it. We're at 7,900 followers and growing. Really would love to get to that 8K mark by the end of this year. So go ahead, give us a follow on Instagram. You can follow us all individually as well. Myself at Khoury Favs, Joe at JR Pubs, Rich at Rich Rivera, and Tom at T Wospil.
By the way, the light in the back is not broken. We got Halloween coming up this week, so we're going for a little bit of a more spooky version of the studio here today. So we got the light barely working here, but
wow, nice catch.
Just for those who were wondering, which was nobody. All right, let's get into it. It's our final game of the 2025 season. I can't believe it. It is our version of the World Series. Now, Khoury, you mentioned before, a lot of points at stake, and we're going to really get into the details of how many points are at stake here, but everybody still has a chance in this. When we even pull up the standings here, and there you go. Joe's got the 34-point lead. Tom's at 29. Khoury Favs at 24, and I'm at 23. Khoury, your question from last week, I think netted you 2 points while you were away. So that was a pretty good. Oh no, it netted you 1 point. Got you 1 point while you're away. Believe it or not, Tom got Ricky Nolasco out of nowhere.
Yeah, I thought that was
on the defining moment. Don't know how it happened.
I don't know where I pulled that from. That was talk about how
crazy stuff. Yeah, Google. All right. Well, now it's time. Let's get into it. It's Khore Kurriculum. It's the way we love to end the games for the year because we know how many points could possibly up at stake. So with that said, let's bring up our guy, Mr. Khore Kurriculum himself. Khore, what's going on, bud?
Not much. How's everyone doing?
Oh, the
Good
hoodie.
Good to see you.
Khore's looking good.
Yeah.
Always. Love Roback.
Dressed for the occasion. Now, Khore, I the last time you were on here, the Mets and Yankees were both still playing baseball. So it's been a while. So it is good to see you. I wish we're still playing baseball on both fronts, or else we would have quite the show for you, y'all, previewing Game 3 of the Subway Series. But that's not the case,
right
obviously.
Now, if it was Game 3 of the Subway Series.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. We would definitely be off. We 100% be off. But Khore, we have a big trivia contest tonight because this is pretty much going to determine our winner for not pretty much. It is going to determine our winner for the 2025 season. The question is, how many points are going to be at stake for tonight's questions?
I think we said 12 total between the two questions.
Well, we got 12 for one for sure, and I think it's 5 for another. I think it's 17 if I have my math correct here.
Oh,
so
God.
I wouldn't trust Rich's math.
17, but my math might not be trusted here.
All right, so are we rotating here to avoid shouting over each other and Tom just spitting out 5 players at once?
Khore, Khore, that's probably our best move there. Okay,
I agree.
All right, so we'll go around, and what we'll say, we'll start with this. All right,
not as
so
soft as this Roback hoodie, but
the first question, Khore, the first question I have here is there's 5 points at play because there's five correct answers here. So we'll go in the order of who has the lead right now. So Joe, you'll get the first guess, then Tom, you'll get the second guess, then Khoury, and then I'll go last. All right, we'll go in that order. All righty, Khore, let's hear it. The one of the final Khore Kurriculum questions.
All right. Through his age 21 season, Jackson Chourio became the 6th player in MLB history to hit 4+ postseason home runs. Who are the other 5 players to accomplish this?
So who through his age 21?
Yep. So what other 5 players have 4 or more postseason home runs through their age 21 season?
Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper is one.
Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle is another.
Ooh.
A-Rod.
A-Rod's not on the list.
Oh, good guess.
Juan Soto.
Juan Soto is on the list. We've got 3 of 5, 2 left.
Joe?
Age 21. Ken Griffey Jr.
Not on the list.
Hank Aaron.
Nope.
Through age 20. Miguel Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera is one.
Oh, wow.
That's one.
Okay.
He was
So everybody's got a point so far.
03.
One more point on the table.
Age 21, 4+ postseason home runs. Gleyber Torres.
No.
God, that's not a terrible
The
guess.
last player is retired.
I was going to say, now that we've reset here, there's a retired player. Glaber's a really good
That's
guess.
what I was waiting for.
I thought he was a good guess too.
That was
Yeah.
a really good guess.
People forget he is a good postseason player.
He was really good, and he was really good in 19. He's hitting a lot of homers.
Retired or dead?
Oh God!
Jesus.
Come on.
Core is Google.
Wait, who's up?
You're up.
You're up.
Oh, I'm up.
Yeah, waiting for you. Jeez.
Let's go with DiMaggio.
No.
No. Reggie Jackson. I don't think that's right.
No.
I'm going to say Andrew Jones.
Ooh.
That is such a good
Andrew
guess.
Jones is the last player.
Oh, that
Wow,
was Khoury. That
There
was
we
That
go.
was big time for you.
There we
That was
go.
huge.
great guess.
Infamously,
That was
yeah.
big. All
He was
He
right.
19.
retired
He was
at like
19.
32 years old, so if he started off early.
So the
He
way
was-
I
I think
mapped
he was 18 or 19 in the World Series of his
So
first time.
everybody
too.
gained the point except for Khoury, who gained 2. So Corey's up to 26, Tom's at 30, Joe's at 35, and I'm at 24. Sorry for couldn't update the graphics in time, folks, because I had no idea what the hell was going to happen. All right, so we have one more question here, and this is where the most points are going to be at because there are 12 points at stake. Same idea, folks.
2020.
Excluding the 2020 season, can you name the 12 players with active and consecutive 2020 seasons, 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases? So the way we mapped it out in terms of who's the longest, it's the last 7 seasons, last 5, last 4, last 3, last 2.
So,
So it's active. These are active players.
so
All
Juan
active,
Soto.
yeah. Sorry?
Juan Soto.
No.
Oh no, 20. Consecutive
The
2020.
bottom pyramid's only last 2 seasons. He's only done it the last season.
So it's guys who have consecutive seasons of 20 homers and 20 steals. And that's what it says.
That
I'm
are
just
still
making
active.
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all
Still
active. Yeah.
Okay.
Jazz Chisholm Jr.
Jazz Chisholm is the last 2 seasons. Yep.
Wow. Point for Tom. Khoury.
I'm going to say Altuve.
Not on the list. No.
Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez is the top dog. He's done it the last 7 seasons.
Let's go.
That's
We just talked about him, Jackson Chourio.
Not on my list.
Trey
Wait a
Turner.
second.
What was that, Tom?
Trey Turner.
No.
Oh,
Wow. Big miss. Khoury.
CJ Abrams.
No.
Mookie Betts.
Sorry, Chourio is on the list, Joe.
Thank
The
you.
way
I
the
was like,
way the
wait a
list is
second.
the way the list is written, I missed the name.
Okay.
That's my
What did you say,
bad.
Rich?
Mookie Betts.
Mookie's not on the list.
I don't think he had 20 this year. Julio Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
Julio's done it the last 4. Yep.
you want a real? Oh yeah. Or I could be looking like an idiot here. Ohtani.
Ohtani's done it the last 3 seasons.
Wow. How did we forget? How did we not say him first?
After I said Trey Turner, I was like, you fucking idiot. Shohei Ohtani exists.
Oh, God. I don't even know how many stolen bases he's had, but Kyle Tucker.
No.
Gunnar Henderson.
Nope.
Was Bobby Witt mentioned?
Nope. He's the last one in the last 4. Him and Julio.
Joe's going to win this.
So there's 3 for me.
So I got six of the 12 have been accounted for.
Yeah, we're missing.
Nobody can reach me officially.
We're missing the last 5 seasons. We're missing 2 of the last 3, and then everyone else is in the last 2.
The last 5 seasons.
I don't know about that, Joe, because
actually,
no, you might be right.
I'd have to get them like all, but I
think so.
You know, no, did he have 20 stolen bases last year? I don't know if he did. We'll say the big dumper, Cal Raleigh.
No.
He had like 20 steals this year. Or close to it.
I'm going to go Francisco Lindor.
That's better.
Lindor's done it the last 3 seasons.
That's much better guess than Cal Raleigh.
That's a good guess.
Fuck.
Ellie De La Cruz.
Ellie's done it the last 2.
So how many we got left?
We've got the one from last 5, 1 from last 3, and 2 from last 2.
I feel like last 5 is such an obvious guy too. Let's go Riley Green.
No.
Jaron Duran.
No.
Good guess.
O'Neal Cruz.
O'Neal Cruz is one of the last 2. Yep.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
No.
Really?
He steals bases. It's so weird because there's guys who just don't steal even though they're fast.
Yeah. Yep. Good base runners.
Back to the top here with Joe.
Um,
I got 9 of the 12 here accounted for. Still missing 3.
He probably he's not. He's definitely not. He's been hurt too much. Let's go with shit.
I think I'm thinking of who you were just thinking of, Joe.
Yeah, he would have been on this list at one point, but he's been too hurt to be on the list.
Do you think he'd be on the list for this year?
I don't know if he got on the list for this year.
I think he'd definitely be on it this year.
But he wouldn't have gotten last year. He didn't play.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Acuna Jr.
No.
It's like an entire season.
Yeah, he missed too much last year. I was thinking him too.
That was a giveaway.
Feel really good about my next guess.
I don't know if he's been healthy enough, and I'm just gonna say Byron Buxton.
No.
That's what I was thinking of, but
What about playing tonight, Dalton Varsho?
that'd be wild.
No.
Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Corbin Carroll is the last one in the last 3.
Damn.
2 more. We got the last 5 and the last person in the last 2. For the last 5, he was just in the ALCS.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, Rosarena?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter anymore.
Rosarena's long
Joe's won it,
One more.
so.
One
Damn.
more.
He's really done it 5 years in a row.
Yeah, that's surprising. But
30. He went 27-31 this year. 24 was 2020 exactly. 23, 22, 2032, 2020.
Okay, so we're missing one, right?
missing one.
One of
Missing
the last
one.
2.
Do I get a clue? That Joe got a clue?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Joe's already won.
Might
Yeah,
as
he's
well.
on the Angels. He's on the Angels. It's not who you think it is.
Zach Neto.
Or it's not the big name, I should say.
Zach
said-
Neto.
Zach Neto. Oh, yeah. He's been up since
All right.
23 and he's done it 2025.
All righty. Well, that's it. There's your core curriculum. So after that, Joe gained 4 more points. Tom gained 3 more points. Khoury gained 2 more points, and I gained 3 more points, which means I think officially now we can say that Joe Pugliese is our winner of the ESB games. So you can add the 4, the 2, that's it's no kind. 4, 5. He's got it. 39 points finished for Joe. Tom, you finished with 33 points. Khoury finished with 28 points, and I finished with 27 points. So there you go. There you have it. So your winner is Joe Pugliese of the ESB game.
Yep, I'm the best there is. There's nobody better than me. I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence. I appreciate all of y'all playing in this game with me here this year. I thank you.
Well,
thank you very much.
You're fantastic at Google searching.
But now we got final Khore Kurriculum where we have to bet points and get the last guess.
That would be incredible.
Congratulations, Joe. Khore, thank you so much for all your contributions this year. And congratulations to you as well, the winner of the Fantasy Baseball League for ESB. How could we forget? It's been a while. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Rich forgot in April.
Yeah.
Khore went basically wire to wire with it.
Yeah, there was that brief stretch, maybe like late July, early August, where we were like with a couple of months within a few games. I think Matt eventually was one for like 2 days, and then Khore came right back and took it over.
Yeah, they got a little scary a couple of weeks before the end of the season, but
yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to
overall dominant run though. Congratulations.
It's hard to pull all those points. Yeah.
Took second. I was a half point behind him for third. Joe was behind me for fourth. Khoury behind him for fifth. And let me just scroll. Rich in ninth place.
I'm surprised I didn't finish in last. It's crazy. I was trying to get a big draft pick next year.
Well, the last place team was an abomination.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure. Khore, so much, man. Enjoy your off season. We'll see you next year for ESB season 5. Take care, man.
Good. Thanks, fellas.
Yep. Thanks, Khore.
Catch you later, Khore. And that is Khore, the host of Khore Kurriculum, the host of many fantasy baseball championships for the last 15 years of playing fantasy baseball. The guy is unbelievable. He's his own dynasty. But you can give Khore a follow at _Khore on Instagram, at Khore_ on X. But Joe, what do we got going on over YouTube? We'll transition off the X and social medias to the latest and greatest with the tube.
Yes, we are live on Instagram and X, but YouTube is our preferred platform. Why we can interact with you, the chat, here live on stream. So go over to YouTube, type in Empire State of Baseball, hit that subscribe button, like the latest video, and join the conversation every week, every Monday here at 8 o'clock with us. So don't forget, hit the subscribe. It's free. We're on the road to 750 subscribers, so help us get there.
Yes, sir. Okay. So like we did a couple of weeks ago on ESB, where we did a review of a previous preseason segment. A couple of weeks ago, we did the 2025 player rankings. This time, we're going to be doing this for the 2025 predictions. So when we did this prediction show, it was the last episode of our offseason series. It was, I believe it was episode number 117, if I'm not mistaken, right before we went into opening day. So all of what I'm about to show you were our predictions for the 2025 season. So all we're doing is looking back on how good we did. So we're going to start things off with the standings. We went through the American League and National League standings. So we'll kick it off there, and we'll start with the American League here, folks. Now, of all this, actually the most impressive feat is Corey Favs. Not that the Tigers won the Central. I mean, they came close. They lost the Central to the Guardians, but he nailed the Tigers' end record at 87-75, despite them not winning the American League Central this year. But boys, we look at this grid. There was a lot of faith in the Kansas City Royals, and that unfortunately did not happen for Seth Lugo and the boys, Joe.
Yeah, they just didn't click on the same level that they clicked last year. The Tigers got out to an early lead in that division. So yeah, that was tough. I had a big miss with the Orioles being a wild card team. That was a problem. Texas was right in it to the end, but they fell short. So I don't think not one of us had the Guardians, so I don't think I can't blame anybody for not seeing that one.
I got the Guardian. Talking about I got the Guardians of Wild Card 3.
Yeah,
Oh,
wild card
you
3.
did.
Yeah, there you go.
Goddamn right I did.
That's gross.
Yeah, this is bad. Yeah, a lot of, and again, faith in Houston. I had, for me, there's always going to be that Astros stigma, but should have known going into this year that this Astros team was not going to be as strong as it once was. This is an Astros team far away from that Kyle Tucker, George Springer, prior to reacquiring Carlos Correa days, Justin Verlander. So the Astros falling out of the playoff contention, and we'll have more on that in a little bit, was something that I didn't expect in 2025. But we look at the National League side of the house here, and yes, a lot of faith in the New York Mets. A lot of faith in the New York Mets. But I'm not going to say that you guys are idiots for saying that the New York Mets would win the National League East. I was almost right there with you. I had the Braves winning with a 94-68 record. Look what happened to the Braves this year. So I think the one thing is just not believing that there would be at least 2 teams that would come out of the NL East, and at the end of it, only one team emerged out of the National League.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Corey, what did you smoke before putting the Pirates as the division winner?
I'll tell you what.
Come on, what are we doing here?
The ball.
Corey?
1-0.
The Pirates.
Yeah.
Oh my!
1-0 Dodgers.
I mean, that's the worst pick.
My thought with the Pirates was, behind Skeens, who's probably going to win the Cy Young, get some good young pitching, maybe be in a position where they're around 500, basically the Reds route, where they somehow hung around long enough, made the playoffs. I thought that was going to be a completely trash division. Little did we know it had the best team record-wise in the National League, winning at the Brewers, and another 90-win team in the Cubs at 92. So I thought it was going to be a completely trash division. Instead, I went with the worst team in the division.
Teoscar Hernandez solo home run.
We already said it.
Dodgers in the second.
Tom, you actually did pretty well. Like looking at what you did between the AL and NL side, you nailed a lot of these playoff contenders.
Yeah, the Cubs looked good for a while. First half of the year, my division winners in the NL were looking good, and then I think the Brewers didn't lose a game for like a month, so that really kind of hurt the Cubs there. And yeah, the Mets kind of we've covered this, historically collapsed again. So last 2 weeks that looked like that should be good. And the Braves, we all missed the Braves. So yeah, what a weird team they are. Was it last year they had like everyone got hurt? This year it really wasn't that. They just weren't good.
Well, the entire rotation got hurt. They were picking up Carrasco off of waivers and having them start games.
Yeah, they lost everybody. Arizona too, another team just missed it again. You gotta feel bad for Arizona now. 2 years in a row of just missing the playoffs here. But again, we had some faith that they would put it together with this core. Didn't work out. They ended up being a seller at the deadline. But even in a selling year, they still did well enough to be right there at the very end of it for that wild card
What's
race.
really bad for us as a group is none of us had the 1 seeds from either league in the playoffs.
I mean,
there is no Brewers anywhere. And listen, the Milwaukee's maybe someone should give more respect to. The Blue Jays is one thing, but kind of just talks to the unpredictability of baseball. I mean, we missed. I mean, obviously, we all hit the Dodgers, and that's like the easiest bet of all time. But I think if you go back to the AL, maybe 2 of us had the Mariners in the playoffs.
Something like that. Yeah, 3 of us did. 3
of us did. So and no one had the Blue Jays. So it's that's baseball, Susan.
Crazy. And while we keep an eye on Game 3 of the World Series and crossing each other up with updates, I don't know if you guys heard Teoscar Hernandez hit a home run and made it 1-0. Let's take a look at what we did with these World Series predictions here. And yeah, I mean, best served that the Dodgers were going to be at the very end here. Dodgers over Boston, Dodgers over KC, Dodgers over Yankees. What was with that top prediction there, Rich? What were we thinking there? With Boston over Dodgers. I don't know, guys. I felt like the Red Sox were going to be in a better position this year to do some damage. And look, for the most part, they had a great year. I don't without the expectation that Toronto would come out of the nowhere and play the way they did. The Red Sox with Rafael Devers in the mix and having that young core coming up through the system. I think for me, I felt like there was a narrative that was going to be a play here. I felt like Boston was going to use some of that prospect ammunition, build up their major league staff towards the middle of the season. That really didn't happen because they entrusted their top prospects to come up and do damage. So I can tell you right now, I wasn't expecting Roman Anthony to lead that midsummer charge, but yet here we were. But Boston, of course, gets knocked out by the Yankees in the wild card round.
Well, we also expected Devers to be on the team. You know, like we didn't think that he was a tradable asset. And so if you had Devers on that team with the young guys and Roman Anthony hadn't gotten hurt, you know, you're talking a lineup that's as deep as any lineup in baseball. Yeah. Unfortunately, with Devers off the team, they just didn't have that middle of the lineup oomph that a lot of these players that the Dodgers and the Blue Jays and even the Yankees have. They don't have that at the moment. They're a pesky team. They're a pain in the butt, but they don't have that lethal bat in the middle of their order that they've now traded away in Rafael Devers. They're hoping the kids can be that, but that's probably what the Red Sox are missing at this
point. Joe, what did you see in Kansas City that they had the goods to get to the World Series?
I thought the pitching was going to be better. I thought they would
You thought the pitching was going to be better.
I thought the pitching was going to be better. And Singer had gotten hurt earlier in the year. Am I thinking of the right guy?
No, you're not, because Singer's on the Reds.
No, Singer's on the Reds. What's his face? Got hurt early in the year.
Cole
Reagan's got hurt early in the year. And I thought they would make a trade for an offensive bat that they never got into a position to make. You know, I love Bobby Witt, obviously, but I was trying to be a little different, and a team that was up and coming, and they took a step back this year.
Yeah,
you know, absolutely. The Royals and Diamondbacks really kind of remind me of the same team. They're very similar. Bobby Witt, Corbin Carroll. They're very similar in terms of the tool set.
Don't know if they're going to be good enough to be a buyer. Don't really know if they're bad enough to be a seller. They're kind of just a middle of the pack. Yeah, it's just this a weird spot to be in as a franchise. You just don't know what to do. But let's move forward from the teams and their respective predictions, but to the players. Let's look at the awards. I know the award season's coming up, so technically none of this is fully confirmed, but when we look at some of the predictions here, we're going to know that some of these guys definitely are not going to be winning certain awards. So let's take a look at the American League Rookie of the Year. And if none of these fucking guys are going to be winning that award this year, but I will say, of the predictions, Khoury might be the closest with Will Warren.
Khoury, were you drunk when you made some of these predictions?
The thing with Will Warren, I was still coming off the good shit I smoked with the Pirates and did the Will Warren pick here. I remember we did this at the end of spring, and Will Warren, I remember, had a phenomenal spring training. It just goes to show you that spring training stats are useless. It's really just get loose, have fun, and stay healthy. You know, that's really all that matters for spring training. Will Warren, you know, at least he gave you a full year. So
Job just didn't have the control. It's going to be Nick Kurtz.
Job got Tommy John surgery. Of course he didn't have any control.
Yeah, and he got Tommy John surgery, which you kind of, when you throw 103, you kind of figure is coming down the road eventually. We know Nick Kurtz is going to be Rookie of the Year this year. Actually, but probably you're going to get 2 A's, probably 1, 2 in Rookie of the Year conversations. If I'm had to guess with him and Jacob Wilson.
And I think Nick Kurtz, I was looking at it today, like preseason was like plus 10,000 to win Rookie of the Year. So it's not like we missed an obvious here. He
came up quick.
Yeah. So You can't
know,
really
he went-
fault us
yeah.
on that.
Yeah, I mean, he's
And,
going to be a
like,
top 10
I mean, you
first
can fault
baseman.
Khoury because Will Warren as a prediction is wild, but you can't really come after the other
Again,
three of us.
he got the closest of all four of us here with his prediction. Joe got TJ, and Jason Dominguez became a bench player by mid-year. And
Yeah.
again, you can tell this is an old graph because Jason Dominguez is completely baby-faced in this one. Now he's got a big-ass full beard here. Shout out to J-Dom and his nice beard. But here we go. National League Rookie of the Years.
Oh boy.
Yeah, not great at all. Dylan Cruz, who, you know, Khoury and I had a lot of faith in, didn't really have it in 2025. Bubba Chandler was called on late. That actually probably the best guess there, Joe, because Chandler looked great. It's just he was called up late in the year and he was rolling for a relief role.
Mm-hmm. I thought they would have called him up a lot earlier, and I think that he's still, you know, I think he's the number 2 pitching prospect in major leagues right now. So that I might go with the same pick next year.
And at the time, Matt Shaw, there was a lot of talk around him. You know, the Cubs were getting him into the third base position to start off the 2025 season. So there was a lot of hope for Shaw. Didn't really amount to much. He had some flashes of good. You like the super utility aspect of his game, but definitely not close to NL Rookie of the Year award winner. In 2025,
it was their other young player, James Wood, who had the phenomenal season. He had the year we were expecting from Cruz.
Exactly, 100%. So there you go. And as we move forward, we're going to get to the Cy Young Awards. And now we're starting to get a little bit more closer to some correct guesses here because, you know, Garrett Crochet, Tarek Skubal, you got to think they're going to be finalists. And I think with Skubal, I think Skubal is going to be ultimately winning his second consecutive award. Logan Gilbert, you wanted to feel confident about Seattle and their young core pitching, and yet Logan Gilbert and George Kirby just could not rise to the occasion after they spent a good amount of the time on the IL this year. But yep, Joe, Tom, you both had faith in Logan Gilbert and it did not work out for y'all.
I'm gonna make just a stance right now. I'm gonna stop picking the Mariners. I know they made the ALCS. I just feel like this pitching staff every year, like you're like, oh my god, they're gonna be incredible. And like they're all really good, but then they never really get there. Like Skubal will win, Crochet will be number 2, and then there's a gap. And I don't know. I think there's just, I don't know if they're overhyped or what it is. It just feels like every year you're like, oh my god, this might be the greatest pitching staff of the last decade, and then it's good, but it's not. No one rises to the top like they should.
Yeah, I think the problem with the Mariners is they got a rotation of 3 or 4 guys that are basically number 2 starters, but they don't have the ace. And I think that's the difference between the Mariners and some of these other staffs. Crochet's an ace. Skubal's an ace. Hunter Brown, who's probably going to be in 3rd place for the Cy Young Award, is an ace. So those guys are a step above. And yeah, next year if Skubal's in the AL, I mean, no matter what, you're picking, you know, a guy like Skubal to be up
playing
there.
for in the AL next year.
He could be in the NL. He could be on the
I
back.
know.
He could be on a different AL team.
Let's look ahead to the National League and our Cy Young Award picks. And once again, I feel pretty damn good about my Cy Young picks, boys, between Skubal and Skeens.
Yeah.
Zach Wheeler,
nailed it.
fortunate end to his season.
Rich picked the winners from last year. And
Corbin Burns, a fortunate start to his season.
Yeah, I know a lot of injured pitchers on this list between Burns and Wheeler. Burns was actually pitching pretty well too. You know, even if he stayed healthy, I don't think he was going to compete with Skeens for getting the Cy Young. But he did have like a 2.6 or something in that ballpark ERA. Before eventually getting hurt. So again, nice year for Burns. If he was there the whole year, the Diamondbacks probably make the playoffs. But things happen. Same thing with Wheeler. Who knows what his situation is going to be now? That's a rough injury he's coming off of. I think
was
Rich
really good.
Nailed both Cy Youngs in both leagues.
It's tough. I mean, because Paul Skeens is insane. He's doing like the mid 2000s Felix Hernandez kind of like, hey, I get my team is awful and I just 7-8 innings and don't give up any runs. Zach Wheeler, I think could have had a chance. It would have been interesting if he would have played it out because he's obviously going to be playing for a contender. He would have been in a lot more high profile games. He would have won more games. I know that's not necessarily the most important thing in the world, but it would have been interesting to compare if they had similar numbers and Wheeler's on a team where it matters. But yeah, good job, Rich. You picked.
Yeah. And by the way, I heard your remark. Chris Sale won the Cy Young in the National League last year. It wasn't Skeens. I didn't pick the winner, reigning winners.
That's
so
true. You're right.
Good work. Good work by you once again.
You're right.
All right, MVPs, American League MVPs. And all four of us had a different guy here. And there's a chance that only Tom might be correct because it certainly will not be Yordan Alvarez and Gunnar Henderson. I got to think Bobby Witt is probably still going to be a finalist.
Top three, probably.
I'd say finalist, but no one, even the biggest Cal Raleigh supporter of the pod, had Cal in this mix. But Tom, you still have a chance here.
Yeah, and he should win. Cal Raleigh had a great year. Aaron Judge had possibly the greatest right-handed hitting season of the last century. So
let's calm down. Let's calm down. That's a little absurd.
The best right-handed hitting season of the last
little absurd.
Century maybe is absurd. Last 50 years.
I mean, come on, like guys, do you know how many right-handed hitters have had phenomenal seasons? You think Albert? Can you go back and look at some of Albert Pujols' seasons? Your boy A-Rod has had seasons. A-Rod had 57 and 142 one year. You're acting like this is a unique, like nobody has touched this. A-Rod in 05 had 421 OBP. I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing?
What was his OBP? What was his OBP in 2005?
On base was 421.
Yeah, and Aaron Judge this year was 457.
All right, I'm just saying. Yeah, acting like nobody has come into the stratosphere of Aaron Judge's season. That's absurd. It's not true. Now, 2022 is to me is a unique season by hitting 62 and whatnot. But even last year, had certain slugging percentage was higher last year. So the idea that all of a sudden Aaron Judge's season is unique in the historical perspective this year, it's just not true. It's not even his best season.
It's debatably his best season. And yeah, as a right-handed hitter, it is one of the greatest seasons of all time. Statistically, it is.
Joe, where are you? Joe, where are you at with the Cal versus Judge MVP debate?
Because two things. Because Judge has won 2, and the fact that Cal is a catcher, I think Cal was more significant to the success of his team than Aaron Judge. That is just my opinion. I think they give it to Cal because of the fact he's a catcher, because of the fact that he hit 60 home runs, because it's, in particular, because it's the Seattle Mariners. You know, this is a team that doesn't make the playoffs, and this guy carried them to the playoffs, and that's the truth. And not that Aaron Judge is any less valuable for it, but we're talking the most valuable to their team. If I take Judge off the Yankees, they may be a wild card 3.
No, they would
and
not.
You yourself, hold on a second, that's bullshit.
Not.
You yourself has always said if Judge goes down with an injury, that's the Yankee season. You've always said, you said middle of the year this year too.
The AL was very weak behind them. The Mariners are not a 500 team without Cal Raleigh. The Mariners don't win 80 games without Cal Raleigh.
The Yankees don't win 80. I don't think the Yankees win 80 games without Aaron Judge.
I don't think the Yankees. I don't think they're a playoff team without him. Me personally, I don't think they're a playoff team without him.
They might not be, but they're an above 500 team, and the Mariners are not.
I don't know if that's true.
But I think Joe,
I don't know if that's true.
Joe, I think the points you made though is probably why the voters are going to lean towards Cal.
Yeah, I think I'm like 60,
and a big part of it is Seattle not getting that division in the first time in 20 years, and now you had a catcher hit 60 home runs, a switch hitting catcher hit 60 home runs, help lead your team to get to that point. I think voters are going to look at that and be like, oh, yeah, it's good.
I kind of equate it to when Dickey won the Cy Young for the Mets. You have a knuckleballer who is in the top 3 in every category in the National League. Now, if you go back and look at that season, you could say Kershaw or I think it was Hyun-Jin Ryu that year had a phenomenal season, and they should have won the Cy Young. But you got to understand that the knuckleballer is so unique to have that kind of season, where knuckleballers never had that kind of season, gave him the edge. I think Cal Raleigh's in that same category. He's a catcher. He challenged the AL record for home runs as a catcher and as a switch hitter. That is unique in the history of baseball, more so than Aaron Judge's season. And I think that's just to me, I can't get over the fact that plays a factor.
I agree where I think Raleigh will win. I think voters are going to love the story, the catch. And by the way, Raleigh had an incredible year. And one of my things I hate most about there's a lot of things I hate about what Twitter has become. But one of the things I hate most about it is
the Cal Raleigh hate.
No, it's even outside of that. It's like, if I want Aaron Judge to win MVP, then it's like, well, Cal Raleigh is truly a big dump of shit. And no, he was incredible. We saw it last year with the NFL MVP. It was like, you either wanted Josh Allen or Lamar, and it was like, if you wanted Josh Allen, people were saying Lamar is basically like was horrible, and the other way around. I hate that it's like so binary in that way. I think Raleigh will win because I think it's to Joe's point, it's a storyline. It's the Mariners. They're lovable. He's a catcher. He did hit 60 homers. He was incredible this year. Good. Fuck the Blue Jays. I do think he's going to win, and I think that's wrong.
I kind of hope for. I'm almost hoping for a co-MVP.
I guess I'm fine with that, but Judge had a better year.
They're both so deserving.
Hold on a second. Has there ever been a co-MVP?
Yes.
There has been.
It can happen. And the reason why it's very possible this year is Raleigh and Judge are the 1-2. They should be 1-2 on everyone's ballot. There's
1979. Yes.
1979, Keith Hernandez and Willie Stargell. And then Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling won the World Series co-MVP in 2000.
Well, I mean, that doesn't count.
That's a little different.
I'm talking about the MVP.
It's happening in the NFL. It's happening in the NFL as well. I think there's 30 voters for the MVP. It's 30 or 60. And Judge and Raleigh will be 1-2. Which should not get a 1 or a 2 vote. It should go to those two guys.
That's crazy.
So if they split the 1s and 2s,
that actually
be 15 and 15. They're co.
Then they're co. But it's
my thing is, I don't think that either fan base can be upset if the other one wins, and that's my thing. I see a lot of Yankee Twitter right now is like, I'm gonna stop with I'm done with baseball if Judge loses the MVP. I don't think that's a fair conversation because Raleigh's had a historic season.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say that Cal Raleigh is not deserving to be an MVP.
I think what really, I know we've moved past some of these stats, but I mean, like, Raleigh hit 245. Judge has an OPS of 200. I think Judge had an OPS of 200 points higher. It's a huge. Raleigh hit 7 more home runs. And
Raleigh at 247, 60 home runs, 125 RBIs, both led the league.
Judge hit 53, so he hit 7 more home runs, but Judge hit 331. He hit 80 points higher. I think it should be Judge, and it's just it is what it is. I can't.
I mean, the one thing too. I mean, with Cal Raleigh, again, being a catcher, now he did play a little bit of DH here and there. Don't get me wrong, but the catcher got 159 games in. I mean, that's a position where most catchers are sitting 1 or 2 games a week. This guy missed 2 games all season at the catcher position. So again, I think it's 60-40 split in terms of Raleigh
getting DH a bunch though. throughout the season. I think he has about 40 games at DH this year.
Oh, yeah, even still, just to be in the lineup every day. I mean, that's a position where most catchers are sitting twice a week.
Yeah,
not even DHing, just purely
Absolutely.
sitting. And he only missed 2 games all year. $120 catching,
120
about
games
40 or so
catching,
DH.
38 DH.
Yeah. So I think that plays a big part of it too. I lean 60-40 in favor of Cal Raleigh for all of the points we've said here. But again, if Judge wins it, I'm not going to be disappointed because Judge had an MVP season. It's just the story with Cal Raleigh is interesting too. So that's what makes it a toss-up. We'll see what happens, but I would have no issue if Judge win it. He did have an MVP type season. Phenomenal season for Judge.
Let's get back to the conversation at hand. We got 2 more awards to look over as we review our preseason predictions for 2025. It's the MVP of the National League, and there's Shohei Ohtani.
Yep.
For Corey, Favs, me, and Tom, and Joe had Juan Soto. Now, all due respect, this could be 2/3 of the finalists for the National League MVP this year in 2025.
I think it's the
now,
top
Joe,
2.
of course, feeling his boy, and I remember the chat collectively gave him a lot of crap for going Juan Soto there. But once again, in 2025, it is looking like a Shohei Ohtani National League MVP.
Yeah, I'll put it to you this way. If the Mets had made the playoffs, I'd be up in arms lobbying for Soto to be MVP.
I think I'd be there with
that.
you, Joe. I honestly think I would because Ohtani, he had a great offensive year, obviously. He pitched some, but he DH'd the rest of the time. And I think if the Mets made the playoffs, I think the Mets, especially if they would have won the division, I think you really could have argued for Soto because, I mean, Ohtani's a DH. He pitched, I mean, this year, now let's see what he does next year, but he pitched what, like 40 innings this year, which is it's still crazy stuff, but like it's not, I don't know. It's not like heyday like Angels Ohtani where he was like truly like a top 10 starter in the AL and also a top 5 hitter. Like that wasn't what it was this year.
You know, and that's the thing. It's Ohtani at 55 home runs. He had 282, but overall, he stole 20 bases. He stole 40. He's basically stole 40 less bases than he did last year. Soto had 43 home runs and 38 steals. If Ohtani did that, he'd be the unanimous MVP. So Soto also led the league in walks, and also Schwarber's in this conversation because Schwarber hit 50.
Correct.
What is it? 58.
It's the 3 of them.
Also DH'd. I mean, granted, Soto doesn't play a great outfield, but at least he's.
I have a question for the group here. Not that I don't. I'm never a fan of when this certain player is included in the MVP votes because I sit here. I'm like, there's another award for you. But does Paul Skeens make an argument for a 3rd finalist as an MVP? 1.97 ERA.
Absolutely.
Played a full season. I agree with you guys.
You have to make the playoffs to be an MVP in
I
any
agree
sport.
with that. I 100%
you have to make the
agree.
playoffs, and you have to be not a wild card team. You have to be like
you have to
dog on a big time playoff team. And I'm sorry.
Do you guys share the same stance with me though that I don't think pitchers should be up for an MVP award?
I think they should, and it's because the MVP is the most valuable of your team. The Cy Young is the most valuable pitcher. You have the Hank Aaron award.
Cy Young is not the most valuable; it's the best pitcher. I think it's
Cy Young is the best pitcher. MVP is the most valuable player in the league. I can make an argument where there are years where pitchers are the most valuable player in the league. I mean, I'm sorry, Pedro in what was it, 99? Pedro was the most valuable player.
I think they Major League Baseball, maybe it's too late to do it, but having another award, be it I know they've used Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron.
The Hank Aaron.
That is the award. Yeah,
it is, but it's not. No one. It's not the same.
I agree with you. It should be equating to what the Cy Young is. Now, if you ask me, if you really want to go this far, this is what I would do if I was commissioner of baseball. So you have your Cy Young for best pitcher. You make that Hank Aaron award mean something more. Best offensive player in the league for both leagues. The MVP combines all teams in baseball. Only one MVP can be given.
I think that's fair.
Like the 2.
I think that's fair.
That's how the NFL does it. NFL only when
I have no idea with that.
But you know what? The problem with the NFL in particular, it always
and
goes to
NHL and NBA. It's actually only baseball has.
This is all news to me. I did not know they did that. So.
I like the two leagues. I like the two leagues getting an MVP because it's unfair. To me, it's unfair to say one player is the most valuable player of the entire league. I think baseball has a whatever you want to call it, dichotomy about it, where it is two separate leagues.
It's not anymore, though.
Not
It
not
hasn't
as
been
much
for a long
anymore.
time.
But I do agree with the fact that the MVP should be open to two players. I think there's so many more players in baseball. It's harder to do that. And realistically, in the
There's
NFL,
more players in football than there are in.
well, realistically, in the NFL, safeties and corners, those guys are never winning MVPs. We
Fine,
know.
but
Our
also
last-
yeah, go on. We're going.
Our last part of our predictions is my favorite one to always review. Let's save the best for last. It's the ball prediction. Let's take a look at our ball predictions before the season starts. Khoury Favs, Clay Holmes is selected to a 2025 All-Star Game appearance. I tell you what, for a couple of months, it was looking pretty good. Khoury.
He was our best pitcher overall when you look at it. I mean, David Peterson made the All-Star game, but then he completely fell off the wagon in August. Clay Holmes was our most consistent pitcher from start to finish, and that's with him taking a little bit to get used to the role. Clay Holmes got better as a starting pitcher in the second half. You would have thought he would have had the Peterson route where he got gassed out and fell apart. He got better in the second half. So I'll give him credit. He wasn't an all-star, but in actuality, all of us would have signed up for the season he gave us. So I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Tom, you were somewhat correct. Not all the way there. The Houston Astros collapsed and finished under 500 first time since 2014. There really wasn't a full collapse. It was kind of like a slow burn for them to lose out on the playoff spot. They didn't finish under 500, still had a decent year, but it wasn't an Astros year. They did miss the playoffs. So I give you half credit for that one.
Yeah, I thought they had just lost too many guys, and they hung on. It'll be interesting to see if they rebound next year or if this really is the end of the best baseball dynasty we've seen since the 90s Yankees, of just like
zero respect to the San Francisco Giants. I mean, that's wild.
It was long, but the Giants wasn't as long.
He won 3 out of 5 years.
They're a dynasty. That's a dynasty.
But the Astros did it from from 2017 to 2024,
and they won 2 titles. Giants won.
But like it's a longer period of time.
Yes, it was a.
The Giants got there, were the best, and then they kind of were done.
It was a run where from 17, I would say it was probably 17 to 22, where it's like every year, 23, I've even given that.
They won
where every year you feel like they're going to be the American League.
In 2014, they won every other year for 4 years.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying the Astros were a longer time period. The Astros were doing it for 7 years. My point.
Joe and I didn't talk about our predictions beforehand, but we did have Vladimir Guerrero involved in ours. I'll start with yours, Joe. Vladimir Guerrero gets traded to the Mariners by the trade deadline. That didn't happen because actually, I think it was within the week of us doing this prediction show, Vlad signed that extension with Toronto, so this threw everything out of whack. I had Guerrero going to Boston to lead them to a World Series and then resigning in the offseason, so completely wrong in my bold prediction there. But yeah, Guerrero stayed
third of a point for getting the World Series run.
True. There. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. He's there. I'm going to take credit for that one there. But yeah, Vlad signing extension. And I tell you what, I mean, that's just one of those crazy things there, Joe, where you weren't expecting Toronto to do much in 2025. He signs that extension and we're all like, oh, there goes your chance of doing anything great with a team that I don't know is going to go anywhere with. You're playing with Boston, the Yankees, even the Orioles at the time, where we're thinking the Orioles are still in the mix. And here, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is taking the bats in the World Series as a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. Crazy.
Yeah. And it's tough. You're trying to predict where a player is going to go when you don't know if they're willing to sign an extension. So, I was looking to kind of find a story that would work with Vlad. And honestly, it's probably for the best that he stayed put. I like seeing teams, and as much as I want the Mets to get Skubal, I hope Skubal stays in Detroit.
Yeah.
I think it's good for the game of baseball. So I'm glad Vlad stayed. I'm glad I took the L on the prediction. I think I was in the right church, wrong pew, because the Mariners ended up trading for a Naylor and a Eugenio Suarez. So they were in the market,
and they were a win away from the World Series too. So.
And they were in the win away from the World Series. So I think I was in the right church, wrong pew on the prediction. I'm glad that Vlad ended up staying. I think it worked out for all parties involved.
Well, there you have it. Our 2025 predictions. A lot of fun reviewing those. But since we did that, we've gone through all the preseason stuff, all those predictions and all that great, segments that we did before the season. But now that we're really out closing 2025 and our season 4 of ESB, last week we did our Bears of the season. Next week we'll be doing our Bulls of the season, and we got a lot more to come for you. So stay tuned with us. Make sure to give us a follow on X at ESB Podcast. Give the subsidiaries a follow at ESBNYM at ESBNYY.
Joe just saw what I just saw.
Tommy Edman with bad error.
Tommy Edman thought he was turning 2, and he missed the ball.
Follow the founding fathers at Corey Favs, at JR Pugs, at Rich J Rivera, and at T Wospil. Speaking of X, you like that? Speaking of X, okay, well, there you go. The founding fathers. Speaking of X, Bronx Take, which has been in off-season mode for a couple weeks, is back starting Monday. It's actually going to be going weekly at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, starting on November the 3rd. But ending on November the 3rd is, of course, Empire State of Baseball season number 4. It's been a fun ride. We got the Bulls of the season we got to finish things off with. We also, for the first time, are going to host an award show, the SB Awards. Now, not SP, SB. I'm not trying to get sued by ABC out here. The 2025 SB Award, Excellence in streaming and baseball yearly. That's what we're going to call it here. The 2025 SB Awards. We're going to hand out awards for some fun moments that happened throughout the season on ESB. And hell, even you at home can win an award. So make sure to stay tuned for our season 4 finale, our 2025 inaugural SB Awards next week here on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Let's call it a show, though, boys. Thank you so much for all coming out. We got 80 people in the building. Really do appreciate that. And we'll see you. Yeah, we'll see you next Monday for the finale. Have a happy Halloween. Enjoy all those goodies. Tom, go ahead.
Go Dodgers. And go Devils. Actually, fuck the Dodgers. Go Devils. I can't
go Devils. Devils play Avalanche tomorrow.
No, they played them yesterday. They play him again?
Let's go Knickerbocker.
No, they play him again tomorrow.
Oh, they beat him again.
So the Knicks some love.
Rest in peace, Nick Mangle.
Yes, 100% echo that as well.
Oh, boy.
Sad day for Jet fans. Sadder day for the Mangle family, but
3-2
phenomenal player. Oh, there you go. If you heard it, 3-2 Blue Jays. Just heard it there. Let's see what happens. By the time we do this show next week, we will have a world champion.
Kirk.
We'll see which team does it. Until then, take care.